I'd like you to meet my mother, Marge Boyer. Thank goodness she's out here at the Hale'iwa Arts Festival helping me out because I'd be nuts without her. And she's a great help.
I'm delighted.
And she's awesome. And I love her to death.
Can't see the mountains, feel the wind is moving slow. The stage before a breeze begins, it's time for rain.
Yep.
Time to feed the plants and trees, the sky will cry. Her tears will bring life to the sea.
I'm annoyed at your house, but I'm from Florida, my family.
Oh, yeah, way back.
Like that.
Yeah.
Summer.
Yeah, thanks. Are you by yourself? My mom is helping. Oh, your mom? Yeah.
I drove out to the Hale'iwa Arts Festival today to visit with former professional surfer Lynne Boyer, who is now currently a professional artist. In 2003, Lynne's art was chosen to represent the poster for the Hale'iwa Arts Festival, which gave her a big boost into the art world. Lynne was the professional world surfing champion for women in 1978-79, and she'd love to make just as big an impact with her paintings.
My name's Al Antaki.
Al Antaki. Where are you from?
Virginia Beach, Virginia.
And apparently you're an art collector. You're here at Lynne Boyer's art booth.
I wouldn't call it an art collector. We've gotten to know Lynne over the years we've been here and have several of her pieces, both oil and giclée.
Do you notice that she does all landscapes?
No, she has a pretty wide variety, I think, of things, and I know that she goes to Europe in the fall and does a completely different sort of thing. She's got it all on her website.
Oh, thank you very much, Al.
Okay,
thank you. That's it.
And she's also a really nice person.
She's a really nice person, I know that. What do you call your art style?
I guess I'd call it, it's a cross between realism and impressionism. And I'm leaning more towards the impressionistic side of it because I really love the freeness of the brush strokes and the capturing the light and color, and to me it just feels right.
So we did notice that your earlier works were really realistic.
Right.
And you are becoming more impressionistic as time goes on.
Yes. Yes.
Any inspiration, any impressionists that you model after, or it's all your own?
Well, there's some plein air painters that I really love going outside and to paint on site. So I like this painter that's from the mainland, Randall Sexton. His work is amazing. And another guy from Maui, Ronaldo Macedo. He's really come up in the plein air painting style, and there's a whole list of them.
When did you decide that you were a professional artist?
I don't really decide that. I think once you start making a living at it,
what year?
I would say,
how old were you, let's say?
I don't even know. That's a good question. Probably like 6 years ago, or maybe 8 years ago, when I became full-time at it.
Do you choose the subjects you're going to paint, or do you see something and it chooses it for you?
It kind of chooses it for you. When you become an outdoor painter, everywhere you go you see paintings to be created, and certain times you'll think of going, to a certain spot to paint, and then something entirely else catches your eye. For me, when I'm driving out to the North Shore to paint something, I don't always say I'm going to paint at this certain place. I'll just go and scope out the views. And
so you, as an artist, you see yourself as a painter, or have you tried, let's say, sculpture or any other type of art?
No, a painter. I haven't tried sculpture.
Tell me something about the business of art.
It's like, in a way it's similar to surfing because it is competitive. There's so many artists, and to succeed as an artist you really have to be out there a lot and, and market yourself and just show up,
So you're saying it's more than just the painting?
Oh, it's way more. Yeah. Painting's the fun part, Sometimes it's the hard part too, though, because when you're learning and growing, you struggle with it just like anything, like surfing. Sometimes you fall off, trying off the lip, fall off. You got to get back on. And same with the brush strokes. You don't put it down right. You have to start over, start a new one. I'd say 1 out of every maybe 10 to 20 paintings is a good one. Small paintings you practice with studies, and you get a good one. 1 out of every 10 is pretty good. So all the rest are practice.
What led you to cleaning houses?
After surfing, I went that route to support myself. Thanks, you guys. Aloha. After the professional surfing thing stopped for me, I didn't have anything to do to make a living, because back then we didn't even make a good living surfing. So that's all I could basically do besides art. And back then I still needed a lot of training as an artist, because I was kind of just starting after college. I went on the pro circuit and I didn't really do art, so I had to develop my art. So that house cleaning enabled me to be able to paint as well and practice and take classes, and you know, so I would do some of each.
So did it give you quite a boost to have this Hale'iwa Arts Festival?
Yeah.
Pick your poster, pick your...
Oh yeah, that was
as the poster?
That was wonderful winning that. I mean, it's always good to win an award like that. And it really, for business, it gives you a lot of attention and people become aware of you as an artist and instead of a surfer, you know. So that was wonderful to win that.
So getting to surfing, you were a shortboarder or a longboarder or both?
Longboard, shortboarder. Shortboarder.
But when you started surfing, the shortboards were already out?
Yeah, that was right when it changed, and it was all shortboards by then.
How old were you then?
I was like, I started surfing in '69, but you know, that was like, what, 11? And that's when it was changing, so by the time I started competing surfing, which was a couple years later, it already had switched over to shortboards. And there weren't even any longboards back then, because, you know, the longboards made a comeback later.
Where did they hold the state surfing contest back?
At the Alamoana Bowls.
Oh, at Bowls? At some point, you did consider yourself a professional surfer.
Yeah, I was a professional surfer. I won the championship in '78 and '79. And the whole pro thing started in '76 with the Smirnoff World Cup, or I don't know if it was the World Cup, but it was a competition that was, there was money if you'd win. So you know, that's the first time, mostly they were all amateur meets before that. And then that's when the World Tour was started back in the IPS, International Professional Surfers. Fred Hemmings started that, and it's grown to what it's become today with the ASP, the Association of Professional Surfers.
Were you ever involved in surfboard design for your own surfboards?
Well, I used to shape boards before I became actually, I got my first surfboard shaper, Harold Iggy, which he was one of the best shapers back in the '70s. So I got him to sponsor me, and I shaped about 10 boards from scratch before then. But when I got him to shape my boards, I gave up shaping, because back then there was no market for women shapers. I was only one of the women, you know, I was one of the only women surfers out there.
Who were the other professional surfers with you?
Oh, there's a list of them. I mean, you want me to name them all? Rel Sun, Margot Oberg, Jericho Poplar, Linda DeVoli, Shannon Aikman. I talk to her sometimes. You know, I'm not really in too much contact. Brenda Scott. But every now and then we say hi, you know.
You certainly have had a couple of fun honors with the Huntington...
Yeah, the Surfers Walk of Fame.
Surfers Walk of Fame.
And then the Hawaii Sports Hall of Fame.
Sports Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Were you ever sponsored by anybody at the time?
But I don't really surf that much anymore, so...
But just
my main thing is art, and I'd love to be sponsored to do my art. To me, winning an award with art is what, you know, that helps promote my business. And
This concludes our interview with Lynne Boyer. In closing, you will hear her talking about her first adventure on a stand-up paddle surfboard.
It was all choppy. I couldn't even. I mean, it's hard. You have to like learn before you get on chops.
The party was fun though.
No, the party was awesome, and I had fun. I was in the water for 2 hours trying it. I'm stubborn. I want to get it, and I got on Sarah's little board, and that thing I couldn't even stand on it. On Cosette's big board, I could stand.
Yeah.
But the little one that rips the waves, there's no way.
Yeah.
So there's a learning curve for sure.
Yeah.
But I think if I could get to the point where I could get on the small boards, I'd have a good time.
Oh yeah, I think you would too.
Yeah. But yeah, I like surfing too. I mean, nothing beats the paddling out. Oh, thanks. Wow, this is a busy festival.